Okay, at first glance, this is ugly, but I found it in the alley, and I talked to the young man, he's in his teens, that lives there, and it did belong to the family, but it quit running, and it was out by the power transformer on this side of the alley, so I brought it home, and there's a lot more that meets the eye on this lawnmower than you'd think. Everything's pretty solid. I love the angle of the handlebars, but it's a Homelite, which that's the name of the make, right? Homelite 20-inch aluminum deck. The tires are pretty good, right? Wouldn't take much to firm those up. Back ones are great. It's got the Briggs & Stratton classic engine on it. It does leak oil. It's been kind of marking its territory on my yard, in my garage. But I think this one might be fun to get going all the way. Paint, fix anything that's wrong with it. It won't be a rebuild, it'll be a recondition. Kind of like my old tiller that I did 29 years ago, that I still use to this day. Now it has the 3-horse horizontal with the side diaphragm, and this one is the 3.5-horse vertical with the diaphragm that goes between the carburetor and the tank. So I have everything to make this thing run if the piston's cylinder is not scored. So I'm just going to start taking things apart, and we'll find out from there. Pardon me. So let's just get going. I'm kind of excited about this. I was talking to Boo and online, and he's going to tell me to go for it. I know. I just chatted with him, not chatted with him, but comments to comments, and I know what he's going to say. He's going to say, "Go for it." So another reason why I'm excited about this is you don't see this too often anymore, eh? So you know the motor's been made in the USA, the deck's been made in the USA. Oh, this wheel's cracked. That's where the slack's coming from. But we've got technology to that. So first of all, I want to see why it's leaking oil so bad. It might have just been sitting on its back, you know, like you have no idea. Excuse me. So let's just get going nice and slow. I'm going to put some gloves on, and we're just gonna do it. So this could be boring for some of you guys. But we'll just do it. I might close the back door of the garage and open the side door. Just for lighting. So this could end up being like a Road King kind of a thing, where 26 parts or something like that. I don't know. Well, let's get started. So things like this need to be worked on. So I'm just helping my critics that say I muck around too much with the camera rolling. Too bad. Let's see. 1992. 26 years old? That's not bad. It has a spark, by the way. I did throw a bunch of gas down the carburetor and when it started it smoked because there was so much oil in the muffler. So where do we start? Help me. Do I start taking off the muffler or the tank? Now the rewind needs work. So let's start right there. We'll start at the top and work our way down. Alright, that looks like a 7/16. I wonder if I should get some air going here. Nah. Ooh, it's loose. Let's make sure we can tighten it up. Oh boy, I suspected that. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. I thought maybe that bolt was stripped. Go get Bob's tray. There, I got something for you guys. So in order to find out if there's anything wrong, sometimes you just gotta strip it right down. This rope retracts so poorly that you can hardly even do a compression test. Come on, baby. I have to get the air out. I think we are. I'll be right back. Okay, this looks okay. It's all got to be cleaned up, right? The next thing I'm going to do is take off the muffler, but I think the second bolt is under the shield. So I'm going to take the shield off. Maybe. Ooh boy. That's the fun with older stuff, eh? Maybe there's only one. This does not look like the right muffler to me. But it might be. There's a tab here, I'm just going to flatten it. Good. Yeah, there might be two tabs on there. Good. Penetrating oil. PB blaster or something. Just anything. Problem with muffler bolts is they seize themselves on, eh? 1/4" ratchet with a 1/4" socket. I think that's 1/4. 1/4. Not that one. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I have a hunch that the second bolt that holds this muffler on is behind this guard, and I don't want to wreck the guard. So I'm trying to take that bolt off, and that bolt off. We may have to get some crystal blue persuasion. Is it ever weird to work on my own stuff? Oh man, a nice set of vice grips. It's a beautiful thumb. You've probably figured out by now that I like to mimic all the different dialects. I don't know, that one didn't feel good. But I think I got the top one. Hardy har. Okay, that's 1 out of 3. That's pretty good odds for a muffler bolt. So now you know what I'm doing. I'm going to just, can you see any of that? Yes, I'm just going to turn you off until I get that muffler off. Okay, so I got the 2 out. I took out the big one. I'm actually expecting to find a second one underneath there. Maybe not, but I got this third one loose. Now whether it's going to snap off or not. Ha ha ha. Okay, and I'll just show you something. You don't usually see these big mufflers on a 3-horse, eh? So there's the guide. Oh, just a minute. There's the offshoot. Now the reason why they put that on there is so the gases don't blow right back on the operator, because this is the handlebars back here, and we do have one more bolt to get that muffler off. Right there. Right there. So now we'll do that. We'll loosen it with a ratchet. Oh no, we'll just use the air ratchet. Hopefully it'll come out. Oh yeah, I gotta... This might have been original. I think this is a well-made machine. So there's just a... You know how they bend a flange over the bolt? I know I probably should be using my snap-on punches instead of a screwdriver. Alrighty. Alrighty. Okay. Now this muffler I think is completely full of oil. So that was the retainer right there. Look how, oh yes, it's completely full of oil. So I'm just going to put that in a plastic tray. You guys know the one. We'll see if we can drain this muffler. That's why it smoked so bad when I started it up. There. spark plug out of here so we can turn it over. This is one of my spark plugs. Good. It has compression. This is how the old timers did it, guys. They plugged it with their thumb, and then when they rotated the motor, if it kicked back on the compression stroke, they knew they had good compression. See that? So I think what I'm going to do right now is check my valve lash. So I'm just going to get that set up and we'll be right back. Alright, you saw it first on Bruce Bender TV. I'm going to take a compression test on this little guy, but there's not a lot of oil in it, so we'll just squirt some. You guys that watch know I run two of these. One is a gas oil mix for priming engines, and one's just now this one's transmission fluid and oil mix. I'm just going to squirt a little oil in there, not much. I'm just going to put a rag over the front of that, catch most of the goo. There we go. I don't want to get that oil in my compression meter. Okay, let's check and see what kind of a wet compression we have on this guy. Now it probably has a compression release inside the motor, so I think anything 60-ish, 40 to 60 will be just great. So you there? Hopefully I don't break my wrist or anything here. Let's go. Am I going the right way? Let's just check this rewind. Clockwise. Just making sure, guys. Don't blow anything up. Okay, that's perfect. It's kind of hard on your drills, but my friends, there we go. We got 60 pounds compression. So that tells me, and it just quit right there at 60 pounds. So that tells me that there's a compression release inside here, and it is kicking in. I was hoping maybe that the RPM would be high enough that it would kick out, and we might be able to try a different drill that would spin faster. Let's try that again. That's good. That's the best news all day. Put that back up there. Fun, fun, fun. Now, there's the 60 pounds. You can let it go. And I'm just going to take this hose off here and blow a little air through here. Get the oil out. There we go. Well, I think it's a viable motor. For those of you that tinker with small engines, you will know that 60 pounds is not the actual compression. There is a little release in here to make the rope pulling a little easier. So now, I'm just going to do some blowing and make a mess, and go to plan B. first thing you got to do is assess whether you're in good shape or not, right? Oh, you turn on the compressor. Crash! Chug, 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 chug. So let me get this blown off while that's running. Oh boy. Okay, let's watch for a spark. Hopefully you can see one here. I'll use the background. You guys can see that? And another lesson for you. We'll go back out. You can see how the clutch works. Watch when the drill stops. Cool. So we have spark, we have relatively good compression. I just don't know where all this oil is coming from. I think it's just been sitting. So now I am going to check the valve gap. Look at how much paint came off. I'm going to sweep that into a group. That's a lot of paint just with air blow. But the more paint that comes off, the better off I am, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to check the valve lash before we get crazy. I'm just going to take this little cover off here. Right there. 1 bolt, 2 bolt, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I think this is an aluminum cylinder. This mower is a 96,000 series, and this book only goes up to 94,000. Isn't that something? But anyway, intake minimum 5 and maximum 7, and exhaust minimum 9, maximum 11. So 6 on the intake, 10 on the exhaust. That'll work in that zone, right? But I can pretty much tell you if I got any kind of gap at all, I'll be surprised. So we're gonna go find a 6. Oh, we'll start at 5. And there's a 5. And I think that's the intake at the top. I'll just turn it this way for you, my friends. And that is definitely the intake. Well, so there's not even 5 thousandths. So let's find out what the intake is. Let's go down. Way down. We'll take it down to 2 thousandths and see if there's any gap at all. And if it's not even 2 thousandths, we'll have to do a minor valve job on it. Now what I did was I took it to top dead center on the compression stroke and then 1/4 of an inch back, so they should both be measurable. Nope. Let me just do it again. Okay, that's exhaust, intake. Nope, it's touching. So we need to do a minor valve job on this guy. Let's find out what the... Let's find out... There we go. None of them are touching now. Let's find out what the actual exhaust is. So I did say 10 or 9 to 11 on the exhaust, didn't I? Just let me find even a 7 or something like that. 5, 6, 7. Yes. So it needs a little valve grind. I'll get you right in. Oh, baby. I'll get you right in there. If we can do that, I don't know. So this is a 7, and it won't fit. Okay, so just bear with me now. I don't have enough hands. We'll do a 5 because I know a 5 did fit. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Yes, there is the exhaust. So a 5. I just want to help. I want to be there for you. There, can you see that? 5. It's just 5. So on both the exhaust and the intake, we need to take a little bit off of each valve. I think that's my next mission. Because I want to get it running.